Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today. I'm here today with Mike Clay from ESPN. Mike Clay, what's going on, baby?
Too much, my man. Training
Too
camp's
much.
underway. Just got back from vacation, still playing catch up. So a million things going on, but any excuse to come on here and talk some football is a good one. So let's do it.
Hell yeah, man. We're gonna go ahead and get this started. We know you're a busy man, so we're gonna start this off. I'm picking on the end. You're picking first. We're gonna start draft. The rest of these are all gonna be auto picks, so we'll have 2 minutes per pick for me and you, and then the rest I'll auto pick all of them. So, um, what's going through your mind here at the 1.1, Mike?
Yeah, I got the rare 1.1. I don't get that often, but easy pick, right? We're going Christian McCaffrey here. He's just far and away the top running back. I've been projected 30 more points than any other back, so he's the pick here.
And Sleeper has McCaffrey here at number one as well as I do as well. I'm on the clock. Michael Thomas here at the top. I'm not going to go here. It looks like I missed out on all of the top running backs here. We got Aaron Jones here. I think I'm going to go ahead and select Austin Eckler, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Stephon Diggs. He will give me a nice floor as far as receptions every week. Possibly not quite the upside as DK could have gotten me, but I want a little bit more safety, and I'm kind of scared of DK this year, to be honest. What do you feel about it?
No, I'm not. I'm not scared of DK by any means. I think he'll be fine in Seattle. Big target share, lots of work near the goal line, so he'll be good to go. But
Right.
Eckler, Diggs can't go wrong with that. I think Eckler maybe limited as a rusher. Not going to score many
Yep.
rushing touchdowns, but extremely busy as a pass catcher, and in PPR we love that. And of course, Diggs top 3 fantasy receiver in a pass heavy offense. So like those picks for sure there. Let's see. I'm on the clock for 2 here. So let's see what we're gonna do here. Looks like no Ridley yet, right? Ridley didn't go. That's an easy pick.
Oh, it is, and I absolutely have Ridley ranked higher here than him, but I know I need to keep this tight. I would have selected him at the 2.1, to be honest, over Diggs.
Wow. So he somehow falls all the way to the end of round 2. If we were auto drafting at ESPN, the preferred
Yeah,
software, of course, he would not have made it this
absolutely.
far. I'll tell you that right now. He's going to be closer to that, early second round. So
Yeah.
surprised I got him. I'll take that every day. But I do have a tough choice here, right? I'm looking at Darren Waller, who has a nice edge over the field here at tight end. He's on the board, and also Antonio Gibson, who is one of my favorite targets in drafts this year. I think his ceiling is sky high. Could be in for a massive breakout. But there's a couple guys going in the third round here who, the projections within about 20 points of Gibson, whereas Waller, if I wait, I'm going to be giving up maybe 40, 50 points. And that even includes some guys I like his values, like a Logan Thomas or Dallas Goedert. So I have to go Darren Waller here. He's just too far and away ahead of the field here. So Waller it is for me.
I absolutely agree. I think his target share will go down a little bit this year versus where he was last year. And I do look forward from a step up from Ruggs this year as well, and Debo Samuel's teammate in college, uh,
Yes,
Brian
sir.
Edwards. I always
Oof,
have his
another one.
brain
Oh
first.
man, that auto draft team got Michael Thomas. Come on, again, you got to get
Yeah.
that updated in the software. There, we have
So
Thomas
I
should
was
not be
kind of
going
hoping.
around that early in round 3. Jeez.
Yeah, so I was actually hoping that I would get this out of you, because obviously I prefer ESPN as far as any type of. Uh, you got it going on, man. I know you got it tight, man. I want to talk to you about, like, people don't know exactly what you do at ESPN right now, and what you're into. So I'm gonna let you talk for a minute while I'm sitting here. I'll browse. I'm actually going to go ahead and select. Uh, I'm going to take David Montgomery here. I
All
think a
right.
lot of people here are that they see that he had an easy schedule towards the end last year, and he blew up, and he did what he had to do in those matchups. So a lot of people look at it like those were cake matchups. I look at it as this guy still went out and done the job. David Montgomery is not the fastest. He's not the strongest. He's not the most elusive. What he has here is opportunity. And Tariq Cohen, I'm a little afraid. Lingering injury from last year still. I thought that was going to be cleared up. So I think you can get a value here at the 312 beginning of the fourth round. David Montgomery to me is a great pick. And
yeah, totally fine with Montgomery there. And he's offended by his ranking. He's looked at the fantasy rankings across the web. He just straight up said this on air, and he's offended where he is ranked. This is a guy that was number 4 in points last year. So yeah, he'll be looking to do better, but it's hard to look. It's hard to put a projection together for him that puts him up there in that RB1 conversation with Cohen back, and in an offense it's probably not going to score a ton unless Justin Fields just explodes onto the NFL scene, which is possible. But
right.
Obviously, we have to hedge there a bit.
So can you tell me where you have CD Lamb ranked? Because I'm going to scroll all the way down here. He is. I'm going to jump ahead because I know he's not going to come back to me, or at least I wouldn't expect for him to. I want CD Lamb on my team. I'm taking him over Amari Cooper, over he's a top 10 receiver for me this year. When you combine the talent plus what this offense has, probably can rush the ball 300 times and pass the ball 600 times. I feel like this offense is just going to, it's getting back together, and I'm excited to see a little bit of what I saw last year at the beginning with some Dak Prescott. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. He's definitely. I mean, he's going in round 3 of competitive money leagues right now. So for you to get him at 4.1 is fine. That's a fine value spot right there. He is going before Amari Cooper right now, or very close to Amari Cooper, who is on the PUP list. So nothing wrong with that. Tremendous upside. First round pick last year. The sky's the limit. I mean, he as a rookie was wide receiver 11 during the weeks that Dak Prescott played, and look. He finished the season 22nd, and he was missing Dak for about 2/3 of the season, a little more than that. So really impressive start to his career. Like him a lot. I'll have him on some teams this year as well. So I'm looking at the board here. I'm up for 2. I'm going to start out here with I'm going to go to the wide receiver position. One guy sticks out. Going in the 4th round right now. I'm going to take him at the very end of the 4th. That's Robert Woods. Good old Bobby Trees. Can't pass on that. Let's see, where else am I going to go here? I'm seeing Dak stick out a little bit. 4 quarterbacks off the board. Feels a little early here, early in round 5, so I can't go there. Some of these quarterbacks went a little earlier than expected in the 4th round. Murray, Allen, Jackson. Can't do that. So I'm going to stick with wide receiver here. I'm going to go with another wide receiver, get that number 3 spot filled out with a star player. A couple options here. I'm going to go with old reliable, the guy who led the NFL in end zone targets last season by far, Adam Thielen.
So I know that there's a little bit of a changing of the guard here, and that's fine, right? But is he being Justin Jefferson he can't do what he did last year with Kirk Cousins isn't. I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say, and it ain't working. There's not enough passing offense in here. I know this was one of the most efficient offenses in the league and everything. I feel like regression is coming as far as efficiency goes. I think Adam Thielen is a great value here. I think he is a little underrated, and Justin Jefferson may be a little overrated because he got loose on several that could have went either way. And big gains. So I'm here on the clock. Easy pick for me here. Deontay Johnson, he's going to start catching the ball this year. And I love him. And he's the number 1 in that offense for me. And getting open and getting the ball thrown your way, that proves that to me. And I'm more of a films guy. You probably I know you're a little of everything, and Jerry Jeudy here, way down here on the list. I'm glad we got to do this so we could pick on sleeper rankings. I love sleeper as far as the draft goes and everything, and how we got this here. Can I make a request for you?
What's that?
All right, so we got to figure out a way to hide your rankings on ESPN. I want to start leagues where rankings, projections, all of that shit cannot be seen, Mike Clay, because what it does to me is it makes it to where players that aren't good at fantasy, don't know the game, they can still win, and it's all because of you and your work at ESPN. I love it, but let me hide it. Can I hide it, Mike?
Yeah, that's not my. Well, actually, my job there is to help those people out. So by putting my rankings in there, so I appreciate that, very flattering. But we do our best. I do, and people may not know this. I'm the one that drives the order the players are in drafts and the projections and all that stuff. So I do my best to keep that as updated as possible. And it looks like sleeper has some here, right? Like they have Darrell Henderson bumped up, but they didn't move Thomas down. So. I'm obviously just poking fun, right? We're all working our butts off on this stuff, but
that's what fantasy football is all about, man. You play against your opponents, you talk trash. It's fun. It's all fun. I've been playing the game for over 20 years, and I started when I was about 11 years old in middle school. I was playing Superflex before Superflex was a thing on Yahoo. I would get on there and I'd create a league, and with my friends in school. And I had Michael Vick and Peyton Manning, and that's where it started for me. So you took Brandon Ayuk, and I'm sorry, you took Aaron Rodgers and Brandon Ayuk. Okay.
Yeah.
So we.
Yeah, so I'll take you through that a little bit. So I was, look, I still haven't taken my second running back, and I'm okay with that. That's a viable strategy that I utilize once in a while. If there's no value at running back, don't force it. Don't force the second spot. I could have taken Mike Davis there. I thought about it. He's going in the 5th round right there. I'm not really buying into him at all. I think he could lose that job at some point. You just don't. The recent history of running backs, his age, not to mention that this is a guy that was cut by Chicago 2 years ago. And is just kind of hanging on in the league before McCaffrey got hurt last year. I'm just not a guy. It's not a guy I want to invest a 6th or 7th round pick in, right? Or actually 5th and 6th round pick. So I'm staying away there. I'll go and get my quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, a star. Quarterbacks we're going kind of early here, but that's about right for Rodgers right now. Now that he's back for sure, to get him in this, at the end of the 6th round, or where are we at here? Rounds. Oh no, it is round 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th round. Totally fine with that. And Ayuk, again, he stuck out like a sore thumb. 24th on my board. I get him at 612. I can't pass on that.
So I'm here on the clock. I only have my little 2 running backs and 4 receivers, and I don't care. I'm looking at the running back pool here. There's nothing that excites me. I'm not gonna freak out just yet, right? So I'm gonna get it back. There's 2 number 1 wide receivers here in Brandon Cooks and Corey Davis. Out of the 2, we've seen Brandon Cooks do this more consistently. Every year he's been 1,000-yard receiver. Granted, this year we don't know who the quarterback's going to be just yet. He is in camp. He did show up to camp today, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and pick Brandon Cooks, and I'm not worried about tight end. I have a plan in order for that. So I'm going to go back to this running back pool right here.
Yeah. While you're deciding, I mean,
gross.
What's that?
I said it's kind of gross.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I stayed away. I don't force it. If I'm staring at bad running backs and good players at other positions, I'll just take the other position. I mean, what's the most replaceable position in fantasy of the big 4 positions? Of course, it's running back. There's injuries constantly. There's always options on waivers. The goal is to win the championship, not to have the best team, after the draft ends, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to force it.
So out of these, I was talking about the two number one receivers and Corey Davis and Brandon Cooks. I'm looking at Brandon Cooks here or Corey Davis here. I know what Corey Davis is. I saw a little bit of what he did last year. It was fine. I want upside. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna pick Michael Pittman. Um, I really like Paris Campbell as well. So uh, I really want to see what that upside can be with Carson Wentz going there, and let's see what it does, man. He reunites with Frank Reich. What are you thinking here, man?
Let's see. So I'm just processing here. Laviska Shenault would have been my pick there when you were up. I liked him most in that group. Fine with Cooks there. Pittman, I'm struggling with a little bit. I do like Campbell more. Actually, I like him at his ADP. I think 8th round is a little rich for Pittman and what could be a very low volume offense. I tweeted a little bit about that yesterday. Let's see. Will Fuller, he just went. I just got sniped a little bit on him. Would have went after him. All right, so I'm looking at, I got my quarterback, I have my tight end, I have one running back, 3 receivers and a flex, really 4 receivers. I'll tell you what, though, one of my favorite values in drafts this year is still there. I already have my tight end, but I can't pass on my guy Logan Thomas here. Got to take him. He is being completely disrespected in drafts. So I know it's going to hurt you a little bit. You didn't take a tight end yet, but that's your punishment for waiting. I got 2 of my top 7 tight ends. Got a trade piece there if I need it. Or potentially a guy that could flirt with the flex. I think a lot of Logan Thomas. I think he's going to be in for another nice season. And then, I think now we're starting to level out, right? I'm looking at, receiver versus some of the top running backs that are available. And it's close. I think you have some safer options at wide receiver. But I'm going to take a shot here. And it's a little bit of a risk because I'm not sure Damian Harris is going to get enough targets to pay this off. But in the 9th round, I think it's fine, right? This is a guy who could push 300 carries if he's healthy all season, score a whole bunch of touchdowns, and maybe get 30, 35 catches as it potentially is a ceiling. But again, at this spot in the draft, I'm fine throwing that dart.
Yeah, I feel like the Patriots will be a little bit more competitive this year, regardless of who they have under center. They're getting some guys back on that defense, and that's going to be great. I have not selected a tight end or a quarterback, and I don't care about the tight end because down here I got Jonnu Smith, and he's gonna be inside my top 7, 8, like you said, and with this auto draft, Tyler Higbee's still here, and I'm not worried about that. I stream tight ends anyways. I think that is the best if you got time for it. Now, I know we don't really have time for it with as many leagues as you're probably in. So if you're in 2 or 3 leagues, you can absolutely stream quarterback and tight end, and that will give you the best edge as far as statistics go, right? You can stream a top 5 to 8 quarterback every week if you pick right.
Yeah, only concern with Jonnu, and not even 12th, right? He's the best guy on the board, so I'm with you there. Only concern is, does he get overshadowed by Hunter Henry, right? We don't know for sure. They're going to have a lot of 2 tight end sets, so I think he could pay this off. Where you're getting him here is fine. I wouldn't feel great about him as my number 1. You're not going to have an edge at the tight end position. 7th is rich, though. I'll tell you what, with guys like the big 3 and then Andrews, Hawkinson, Pitts, Thomas, to have him in that group is bold, especially with you have Goddard, Fant, Tunyon right after that as well. So I have him after all those guys in Gesicki, but to each his own. We'll see what they have planned for him in New England. They're certainly paying him a lot of money.
I can't see, and that's a lot of it. And Bill Belichick said he's the best tight end in the league, and he's been glamored over Jonnu and known that he was a nightmare to match against, right, on the defense and the coaching side. So to have that on his side, I know that now they got their 2 tight ends back, and I'm not going to go back to the Gronk Hernandez days, but a little bit of me wants to, Mike. It has to. So
Yeah,
I
we'll
took
see. We'll
Deshaun
see. I mean,
Watson.
he never really fully broke out in Tennessee, though. You know, he had a lot of touchdowns last year, was over his head in that department, but the yardage was never really there. So we'll see. Maybe New England can get the most out of him.
Fair, and I like all that too, and I think that he has a lot of the same skill set as George Kittle as far as once he's got the ball in his hands, and uh, they're going to scheme ways to get the balls in his hands because they don't really have anything. I think he's going to be Jacoby Myers somewhere down here. I'm sure. Let's see. I picked Deshaun Watson in the 9th round. If I get, all right, thanks. Uh,
See, he went Watson bold in the 9th round here, but if he starts, that's going to pay off big.
Yeah, and we don't know. There could be some definite. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I know it's early. I know I don't. It don't care. I know you're on a time schedule, so I'm gonna get my guy Jonnu Smith to fill out my roster. We're gonna make a couple more picks and close this out. And anyway, I appreciate you coming on here a lot, man. It's awesome. I love you. I love you so much.
Happy you do it, man. Appreciate coming on. Appreciate you having me on. This is funny drafting while trying to communicate too. Here, I'm I'm updating my board here, seeing who's available. So definitely not ignoring you. Don't get me wrong. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to take another flyer here at running back. I'm going to go AJ Dillon. He's getting a lot of rushing volume, maybe the goal line work there occasionally in Green Bay. So I like that one. And let's go back to the wide receiver well here, right? Haven't been there in a while. Loaded up with 4 early, but there's a lot of talent left. I could go Antonio Brown here. Mike Williams is there. A lot of people are hyping him up right now. I'm not really seeing it. I don't know what the appeal really is. We've seen him for many years in the league, and it hasn't happened. But I'm gonna go potential breakout, a number 1 receiver, high ceiling, the first receiver selected in last year's draft, and hope for some post-hype explosiveness here in year number 2. I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs. I like it. I know he's got a. I love Derek Carr's deep ball. I'll finish out this round right here with
Carr very conservative throughout his career, but we got to get him pushing it downfield or at least manufacture touches, right? If he's going to throw it short, let's have more bubble screens and slants, some creative plays for Ruggs. They got to get him the football more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What I would do here if I were on the clock really is I would probably pick from the top talent, whoever I really like. I'm going to skip past that. We're going to drop this down. We're going to close this. Nice drafting. That's awesome. But I have a message for you to relay to Matthew Berry, if you wouldn't mind. It is from this guy right here. Can you hear that?
I cannot hear it. Very, very low, very low. But I don't know what he's saying.
I love you, Matthew Berry. You are my hero.
I hear it now.
Been on you since day 1 of my fantasy life, and I think without you, none of this fantasy stuff is possible. Read all your articles, watch as much content as I can. I've been a subscriber for years now to you, and man, it would just be an honor if I got this in front of you. You saw my face one time. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Matthew's obviously the OG of the industry for sure. And someone I've looked up to for a long time. Who was a big help for me getting into the industry, and now I could call him a good friend. So that's great. Yeah, make sure he sends Matthew that video. Matthew will obviously check that out. He's a great person. So that's awesome.
All right. I wore this Eagles hat for you, but I'm not a fan of any team. But Matthew, I don't have a message for Matthew Berry. I got a message for Mike Clay. Mike Clay, I appreciate you coming on True Serum Football. anyone that doesn't know who you are, you should be ashamed of yourself. But where can they find you, Mike?
Yep, at ESPN.com, obviously, ESPN Plus, NFL, and fantasy football sections. Do some chalk stuff. We're doing some player props right now, too, at Mike Clay NFL on Twitter. Appreciate everybody following along. And, August is just a few days away. So we're about to ramp this thing up and get back to real football action. So I appreciate you having me on. It's been a lot of fun. Always fun to do a draft and talk some ball, and we'll do it again sometime.
Hell yeah, man. Once again, thank you. I love you, Mike Clay.
Love you too, Joey. Take care, my friend.
Stay true.